Hey guys, welcome into the Sportscast here. You got your host Brian and Craig. Craig, my man, how you been, bud?
Howdy, sir.
Um, Welcome in, guys. The Sportscast live Friday night, 8 p.m. And we go live on Tuesday at 6 p.m. Come join the show on YouTube. We're gonna recap a little bit of Week 9 and then get into Week 10 as well. Probably talk a little Cowboy news since we had the sad news this week. Well, I guess we can start it off with that, Craig. Nealon decided to, unfortunately, take his own life, and mental health's a real thing, and unfortunately, he felt like that was his only way out, I guess. So sad news for the Cowboys organization, his family, and his girlfriend.
Yeah, very, very weird how it all played out. And here
Yeah,
you have a guy on Monday night who scores his first touchdown. Seems to be kind of making some strides. Was supposed to be the replacement for Lawrence on that end, um, and just never really got there. Um, this stems back from when he was drafted, right
yeah,
before, as he was coming in to get ready for the draft and enter the draft, his mom passes away unexpectedly, and he never really got past that. I don't know if there was signs here that the Cowboys should have seen, signs that the NFL should have seen. Um,
yeah. That
I'm
that
trying
one's
to do
tough, right?
right.
Because
Right. Some people are
you
better
know,
at others at hiding it.
well,
And
yeah,
on Monday night when you see him jumping off the field and celebrating with his teammates,
yeah,
there's zero chance that you're thinking 72 hours later this young man's not going to be here.
right.
Um I from everything that I'm hearing and talking to people, the police chase was not an intended thing. It wasn't part of it. It was he was out to go do whatever to get away from whatever he was trying to get away from, and caused a traffic infraction. And then when DPS tries to pull him over, when the state troopers tried to pull him over, he just went into spiral mode, and um apparently looks like he wrecked at some point trying to get away. They basically, DPS initiated the stop. He tries to get away. They decide, hey, it's not worth it. It's not.
Yeah, they lose him, don't they? Like he ends up
Well,
losing him.
they basically called it off. They said, hey, listen, there's people out here. We have a license number. We'll go deal with this. You know, when it's safer. And so they call it off. Well, all of a sudden they call Frisco. Hey, we're coming into your jurisdiction. Are we good to come in here? And Frisco's like, well, yeah, you're good to come in here, but what you got? Well, we've got this and high speed chase, and they tell him the vehicle, and Frisco's like, oh, hey, wait a minute, we're looking for that guy.
Yeah,
We've got 911 calls coming in that this guy is going to maybe hurt himself.
he's
We need to,
armed. Yep.
yeah, he's armed, and we need to find this guy. And so they go back to looking, choppers and everything like that. They find the vehicle. When they find the vehicle, he's not in it. So they launch drones, get dogs, and it takes 2 hours. And finally, they get a heat signature in a porta potty
Portable.
from
Yeah,
this drone. They open the door and they find the self-inflicted gunshot wound. I don't know. Again, I don't know. I've been on it for 2 days nonstop, talking to people, looking up things, and again, I don't want to go into anything that I haven't been able to concretely find as factual yet. But there could be more to this story than what we're being told right now. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
It's a sad deal that a young man, 24, everybody from the outside thinks he's an NFL football player. He has millions of dollars. He has all the things that he wants, but you really don't know what a person's going through. And obviously there was a lot more that Marshawn Kneeland was dealing with that came to a head on late Wednesday night or early Thursday morning.
Yeah, and mental health, man, it's something to be taken serious. It's something that it's all right to reach out for help. It's all right to talk to somebody about it. I know a lot of men especially hold that stuff in because they think it's weak to let it out, but unfortunately Kneeland decided to do what he did. So if you're in hell, if you need help, you need a shoulder, we're here for you guys. I mean, it's a sad situation. That goes for anybody, not just sports figures and celebrities.
Right.
And
this is a problem in the world,
in the worldwide,
all around.
Veterans, all
yeah.
Suicide prevention is something that's needed, and but. Well, that was probably the top news of the week. I mean, that was all over the place. And so let's got that out of the way. It's a sucky situation. And like you said, more probably will come out of it. But
I mean, fortunately for the Dallas Cowboys, they're on a bye this week. So they have some time to process this. If you remember back in 2012, when they lost the teammate and the Jerry Brown deal and the other teammate was responsible for driving recklessly and killing him, they had to board a plane and go play in Cincinnati 24 hours later. And probably Jason Garrett's best coaching job ever to have something like that happen and be able to get your guys together and on the same page and go play football. It's an interesting thing. And I'll tell you what, a lot of people say things about Schottenheimer, but there's really no guy I'd rather have in the locker room right now when something like this was to happen than Brian Schottenheimer. He has this group. They may not be real good on the football field, but they are a tight-knit group and will do a lot for each other. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens from here. The schedule for Dallas gets brutal. And something like this happens. No, it could be very, very rough.
And I got a question about the Dallas Cowboys, but we'll ask it maybe later this episode or maybe later in the season about it, or maybe at the end of the season when we see where they land. But all right, let's get into week 9 here. We had some interesting games. If the Bengals could tackle, they would have mounted a major comeback on the Bears, but they let them slip. Packers don't show up and lose to the Panthers.
That was a wild ending to a football game.
Bengals, Bears, insane.
I text you. I was like, the Bears are doing Bear things again, and
I was like, oh my God, how are they losing this football game?
And my guy Colston Loveson was like, I'm a grown man, and I'm gonna shed off these tacklers and run 40 yards. If he doesn't make that, the game's over. They don't have any timeouts. And he's running down the middle of the field. If something was to happen and he doesn't make it, they lose that football game. That was an awful, gutsy move to shed those guys off, and because you got no timeouts, and so
the Bears are 5-3. I think they're frauds, but Packers look like to be frauds too. Fucking lose the goddamn Panthers. Terrible. I was actually I wasn't able to watch the game on Sunday. I was at a fall festival at the Ranger Stadium. Got to be on the field. It's pretty cool. But we played so bad, I was like, I'm not even gonna watch it. I'm just gonna get mad. So we were pathetic and we lose to the Panthers.
Carolina though is very Jekyll and Hyde. This is a team who has looked really bad for the games they've lost, but they've played really well against some really good football teams.
Yeah.
And
their running game, Dowdle, and their defense is...
Rico Dowdle has had a resurgence. That is not the same guy that lined up in the Dallas backfield a couple years ago. I promise you that.
I don't know. They need a drug test.
This reminds me of before the season he had before splitting carries, before they made him the full-time back and signed him to the contract. So you wondered when he signed to be the lead, to be the guy, and doesn't have the thing, you're like, well, he just needs to be limited into carries. But apparently not. Apparently Carolina has figured out the code, and Rico Dowdle has had a resurgence, and he's, and Bryce Young has looked better than he has in the past a little bit. Dave Canales has them playing very good football. They only won 5 games last year. They've already won 5 this year.
Yeah.
I don't think they're a playoff team or anything like that, but you're starting to see at least a little bit of progression. Whereas the last few years, Carolina has they've drafted all these people and you've seen no reward for your draft picks. You've seen the same 1 win, 2 wins, 4 wins, 3 wins. Very, very much look like a better football team this year.
Well, I mean, they beat us at home. LaFleur has too many of these inexcusable losses, and we're a good team. We're not a great team. So, Vikings upset the Lions, which J.J. McCarthy comes back. He's 143 yards, 2 touchdowns, nothing too special there. But they upset the Lions, which was great for me, except Packers lost, so I didn't really do anything in the standings. Chargers barely get past the Titans. They're a team that's we thought was on fire, and they've kind of come back to reality, but they get the win here.
This is what they do every year, though.
Yeah.
And we have to figure out why the Detroit Lions lay an egg after a bye week every year. This is not the first time they've done this. Seems to be a very common denominator that you come off of a bye in Detroit, and instead of being rested and ready to go, they forget how to play football for a week. And then, I mean, this was a very close remnants of the Packer game. Like you looked at the offensive coordinator and went, "What's this guy doing?" Running weird plays, screen plays on 3rd and long, and just uncharacteristic mistakes. Montgomery fumbling the ball, and that division has become very interesting really quick. I mean, I don't think Chicago has enough horses in the barn to be part of the discussion. I still think it's a 2-horse race, but boy, it looks rough over there.
Yeah, it's becoming real tough. I the Lions are good, Packers are good at when we want to show up. The Bears are frauds. I mean, their wins are against Dallas, which isn't a very good football team.
Right.
Vegas, which they beat by 1, not a very good football team. Washington, not a good football team. The Saints
or the Bears, the Bengals.
The Saints and the Bengals. They have not played any. The wins are not against anybody.
No.
So they are frauds.
Detroit curb stomped them. Apparently, you haven't played it, so you got to play them twice still.
Yeah, we play them week 14 and week 16. We play them week 1, then we go Giants, then we play them again. I'm like, I don't know why they got to do that, but yeah, the division is going to be interesting. It's going to be between Green Bay and Minnesota. We just got to be more consistent, man. I hate the inconsistency. We got an important game this week, but we'll get into that in a little bit here. Patriots beat the Falcons. Colts and Steelers. Steelers get to win against the Colts. That was a
very interesting to see how Daniel Jones comes back after is he reminiscing back to the old Daniel Jones, or was that just a one-off bad week? Pittsburgh has a pretty good defense, but if you look, Colts have a pretty good schedule against some pretty tough defenses coming up. The Texans, the Seahawks, so it'll be interesting to see how Daniel Jones recovers from that. That trade. Talk about going all in.
Sauce Gardner, yep.
That is a huge move for that secondary. He's cleared concussion protocol and he's cleared to play this week, and it'll be an interesting to see if he can really lock that down.
Yeah, the owner of the Colts said, "Do you want a Band-Aid or do you want to fix it for good?" And they went out and got Sauce Gardner. So, be interested to see. They got better. 7-2 though, still kicking strong. And people they were asking the question of, are the Colts frauds? And the Steelers are a good football team, so let's stop it. Well, you won, loss, and your guys are ready to throw the fraud button on them.
Well, it's easy to do that with the history of your quarterback. The history of your quarterback is not reminiscent of what he's done. The history of your quarterback is to look like he looked on Sunday. Yeah. So I can see why people were so quick to go, hold on, pump the brakes. Because of the history of Daniel Jones. He has a much longer stretch, a much longer work history of being bad than he does of being elite.
Yeah. The best game of the weekend was Bills Chiefs. Bills get the win 28-21. Really good game.
It was, but it wasn't, because if I'm a Chiefs fan, I don't know what happened to their offensive line. I've watched a lot of Chiefs football, and I've never seen Patrick Mahomes take as many brutal hits as he took in that game.
He see it one on the sideline. Man,
that I was waiting for the flag.
Yeah.
There's normally a flag when it involves him like that. That was brutal. That was Buffalo sending a message going, we're not scared of you anymore.
Yeah.
And I mean, just into your chest and planted you into the sideline.
I was like, oh, here comes the flag.
He's getting up, picking up turf out of his helmet. He looked like, I guarantee he woke up the next morning and was like, I got hit by a bus. Like, bad.
Yeah. And then Monday night, they decided to put on a terrible game, and the Cowboys find a way to lose to the Cardinals at home. And the Cardinals haven't been, I mean, a lot of their losses are one-score games. Their backup quarterback's better than their starter, and the Cowboys' offense was abysmal.
Now the starter's on IR for 4 more games, so he's basically gone for the year. Yeah, I didn't see this coming. At home, Cowboys had averaged 40 a night, the 3 home games.
4 turnovers, I think.
And yes, just looked lost against the defense they're not great. They're not tearing the world up. Defense looks like it always looked. The only time one of the touchdowns you score is the block punt. Yeah, just looked lost. So I don't, like I said, they get a week off. but they come back and play the Raiders, which is a bad football team. But after that, Kansas City, Detroit, the Eagles, the Giants,
Chargers,
the Commanders, the Chargers.
Which the Commanders aren't as good. Minnesota, you play, they're not as good as we thought. After
Right.
last year,
Right, but I mean,
but you come in through
you
a
put
tough
yourself,
stretch.
you've put yourself in
Yeah.
a situation to where you have to go 7-1 or 8-0 to make the playoffs, and I don't think that's going to happen.
It's not happening. That's why I said stick a fork in them on Facebook.
Gonna be
They're done. I mean,
gonna be the first time since the original Bush administration that the same team has won the NFC East 2 years in a row.
we talked about this in the offseason. The Cowboys have to come out and win early because the toughest schedule is at the end of the year, and they're 3-5-1. That's just not going to cut it. So.
Yeah,
and
you've lost to the Bears, you've lost to Carolina, and you've lost to Arizona. They should be probably 6-2-1 if you just win the games that you're supposed to win. Not counting Green Bay, not counting anybody tough, not counting the Eagles, but the games you should have won. Teams that are not as good as you, it hasn't been great.
Yeah, and if Green Bay does that, we're still undefeated. I mean,
yeah.
So,
you seem to play up to your competition and down to competition.
Yeah.
The teams that are tougher that you're like, oh, maybe you beat them. The Steelers, good defense. You put up 35 the second half. The Lions week 1, you put up a bunch against them. But then the teams that you should put up a bunch of points against, you just can't get out of your own way.
It's insane, and it's so frustrating, and I want to believe in this team, and then we lose to the Panthers, and we suck. So it's just up and down roller coaster. I got something, and I wish Jeff was on here for it, and I told him because we talked on the phone yesterday, and he said the Raiders, it's a divisional game, it's going to be a low scoring game. I said the Raiders suck. Your team needs to put a mollywhopping on them. And they win the game 10-7. And it made me look at, okay, Denver's won what, 7 in a row? Well, I got potential fraud alert here, okay, Craig? Because
I agree.
You look at who they've beaten. Their wins are Tennessee, not good. Cincinnati, not good. Jets, Giants, Cowboys, Texans, and Vegas, not good. They have one good win against Philly, but the rest of the year they've beaten nobody. And
right,
you beat the Giants by 1, the Jets by 2, you beat the Raiders by 3. Like, you're not blowing them out of the water. Like I told Jeff, I need a statement game. Y'all should be able to smack the Raiders around. They're not good. They're possibly the worst football team in the NFL this year. And
close. The Jets are probably right up there.
And you go out and you just look bad. So I know a win is a win, and at the end of the day, I'll take it. Like
play who's in front of you. Yeah, I get it. But
you don't control.
They got Kansas City twice. They got the Chargers still. Talk about a tough backstroke. Back half of the schedule. Denver's about to face it.
Well, and I think if they can come out and they can beat Kansas City, then okay, maybe not. But so.
Although that team's talk about looking.
Not as good as
if the playoffs started today, they wouldn't be a part of it.
Well, this week we got the Colts are looking to bounce back, and they play the Falcons, and the Falcons are talking about hit or miss. This is overseas. They play in Germany for the first. I think this is the first Germany game. They play at 8:30 in the morning. So you've got the Ravens and Vikings. Lamar's back. Everyone's predicting the Ravens to go to the playoffs. We'll see. You got Bucks and Patriots, should be a pretty good football game.
That's going to be a real good football game.
Yeah. Rams 49ers usually always pretty good. Steelers Chargers Sunday night football. That one should be a good one. And the main event Monday night, Eagles and Green Bay. And since YouTube TV and Disney are fighting, I don't get to watch Monday Night Football anymore. So now I got to go somewhere to watch it. So that's fun. Thank you, Disney and YouTube. I appreciate that fun fact. And I don't get college football on ABC at nights and then during the Saturday. Thank you, Disney. So very frustrated with that situation. But we got some good games coming up. Packers and Eagles, man. And I think we show up for the occasion. We're playing in Green Bay, Lambeau Field. I'm not saying we're going to win, but we usually don't have two bad games back to back. We usually play up to our competition. It's going to be a pretty good one there. And that Sunday night football game is one.
I'm okay if you do, though.
Yeah. This is one game you're going, okay, y'all can win this one.
Yeah.
And we need it, honestly, for the standings of the number one seed. But, the Commanders, Jaden Daniel can't stay healthy. Do you see the play where he dislocated his elbow? Man. And
it's not broken. What?
Yeah, how is it not snapped in half? It
doesn't bend that way.
Yeah. If I'm the Commanders...
no.
Well, first of all, he shouldn't have been in the damn football game.
Right.
Dan Quinn. Fourth quarter down by $1 billion. Let's go. Come on.
Why are we putting our arm out? And what is it with Washington's quarterbacks and
it's cursed
injuries?
Snapped leg
on the 23-yard line or what? I would be nowhere near that yardage marker if I ever run a play on the 23-yard line as a quarterback in Washington. I'm not doing it. Put the backup in.
Alex Smith.
Yeah.
Oh, almost died.
The Alex Smith and Theismann injury. Have you seen all the same yard line, same quarter,
same day, wasn't it?
Team, same.
It was insane.
I never seen anything like it. It's the wildest thing ever. And then, Daniels. They're saying he doesn't have to have surgery. They're saying there's minor ligament damage. They're saying he is not going to go on IR, and pending their record at the end of the 3 or 4 weeks that he's going to be out, they'll decide whether he's going to play at all this season. But he somehow avoided a long-term catastrophic injury.
I think you sit him the rest of the season, and the season's kind of lost cause at this point for the Commanders.
At this point, I mean, unless the Eagles start losing some football games when they're not supposed to lose, and then you get back in the, and you can win some with Marcus Mariota, who has looked atrocious.
Oh, terrible. There's a lot of, and I don't know if you feel the same way. I think the NFL this season's wide open.
Oh. It's as wide open as it's ever been.
It's hard to go.
Chiefs that have 4 or 5 losses. You've got the Lions that have 3 or 4 losses. The Packers have 3 or 4 losses. The NFC West is up fest. The NFC East is really the only division that is
pretty much a lock
in question. Yeah, because the other 3 teams are just horrible. And the Giants were starting to make a run, and they have an injury. The Washington's starting to have and they have an injury.
And you look at the AFC.
The Ravens have 5 losses.
The Ravens I think are done. Maybe premature, but
if they lose one more game, though, you would think they're done. 6 or 7 losses, that's not going to get in. Not with everything that's going on.
And you look at the AFC. Do we trust Denver?
No.
Do you trust Indianapolis? Buffalo looks like the better team, but the Patriots, are we trusting them 7-2?
You trust Buffalo's had some clunker games.
Yeah.
You don't trust. You trust Indy a little more because of the cushion they have in that terrible division.
Yeah.
So they'll make the playoffs. Now, I don't know if they'll make a run, but they'll at least make the playoffs because that division's just trash.
Yeah. We'll see. Let me look at Baltimore's schedule. Let me see who they got coming up. I know we play them. And I thought that was going to be, and they might turn it on. I mean,
well, they've kind of turned it on the last 2 weeks, but they've played cupcake opponents.
Yeah. Let's see who they got. They play Minnesota, Cleveland, New York Jets, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Patriots, Green Bay, and Pittsburgh again. They could easily get 4 in a row.
I see 2 losses right there.
They could get 4 in a row. Minnesota, Cleveland, Jets, and Cincy.
Right.
And then they probably lose to Pittsburgh.
They probably lose. They might split with Pittsburgh, and then, I mean, even if they just lose to the Packers and the Patriots, that's 7 losses, and I don't think you're in.
It depends. It depends on where everyone else falls because the wild card is so far up in the air.
You better hope the AFC West beats up on each other.
Yeah, and the AFC East. Yeah. Well, in the AFC East, you're going to have 2 teams right there in the playoffs. One's going to win the division. One's going to take the other wild card, more than likely. Probably. So, but I can't believe we're pretty much halfway through the season.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, you blink.
They fly by.
Yeah.
Man, and I don't know if we got any other football news. Well, let's talk about it. Quentin Williams, Cowboys trade to get a defensive tackle, and
you're not going to like my answer.
I don't. Good player, great player. Is he changing the needle for your team?
No.
Exactly.
No, you gave up too much for there was not. These 2 guys are not going to fix your season. This is too far gone. And I understand that doing nothing probably gets Jerry Jones run out of town because people in Dallas wanted to see some kind of, but this isn't fixing. He's not a pass rusher.
He's
a run stopper. The linebacker. He was on the other worst defense in football.
Yeah. And this is a futuristic pick. It's not a win now pick. It's
right. But how much are you going to pay him in what was comparable?
It's a contract heavy. Yeah.
Incomparable to what you would have just done to keep the guy you had.
Yeah. You're paying. You're doing all this to try and replace Micah Parsons, and
you're doing it to just shore up the defense from being it's taking on water. The boat is taking on water. You're trying to fill holes with guys that are somewhat NFL football players. Yeah, he's great, but he's not going to fix your problem.
Kenny Clark, is he there next? Do y'all pay it? Is he there next year? If he's not, then you basically double team Quentin Williams and you're back to square one.
You're going to have to pick Kenny Clark or the wide receiver.
Yeah. So it's interesting. And Ryan will argue with me and we won the Parsons trade, blah blah blah. I'm like, dude, when Green Bay got Micah Parsons, everyone was talking about this could be the piece to make him to get him over the hedge and make him Super Bowl. That no one said that when you're getting Quentin Williams, my man. I mean, big difference.
No, but I agree with Ryan to an extent. because
your cap space is better, and
cap space is better. You've paid 3 linemen. You have made these 2 trades. We'll see how they work out. You've got 3 first-round picks now instead of 4, but you got rid of Mozzie. That was please don't draft another guy from Michigan. I'm a diehard Michigan fan, but please don't draft another guy from Michigan. You're 0 for 2 with Taco Charlton and now Mozzie Smith. So just stop drafting Michigan guys on the defense, apparently. So, yes, they've made a lot of good moves. And listen, Micah Parsons, this is going to be a very unpopular opinion. Micah Parsons is kind of a one-trick pony. He's not a linebacker. He's a pass rusher. He doesn't play the run very well, as you can see. He flies.
It's not as bad, but he's not great at it.
But he doesn't contain. He goes up the field, and if he's right there, if the guy's right in front of him, he'll get him.
Yeah.
But if he's got to go to the right or to the left, he's chasing the play down. He'll run it down from the backside, but after the guy's got 10 yards. Micah Parsons is, I'm going this way up the field north. He's going north and south up the field. That's all he does. When the play gets outside, he has no containment. 0 containment skills. He's not a linebacker. He's a defensive end who's trying to capitalize by calling myself a linebacker, but I'm doing both, so you're going to pay me a lot more. He's trying to multi-position himself to make more money in the long run when he's not that.
I'll take him all day, but he the last week was the first game he didn't have 1 pressure. I was like, damn. That offensive line from Carolina must be pretty daggum good.
Well, no, here we are. Here we are. Look at the timetable.
Well, and he's got his back injury, and so
he runs out of fuel. As the season progresses, he starts running down on fuel. Productivity will go down from this point going forward.
And I get, and I told Ryan, I look at it differently, not because it's my team. I look at it differently.
Of course you do, Homer Pigeon.
No, I look at trades differently. If you trade someone, and I'm not saying this just because it's my team, who won the trade is ultimately who won more damn games.
No, not.
But your cap space is
these trades,
what's gonna
because Dallas. You won't know who won the trade till they use all the pieces.
Well, I'm not talking like.
What are they?
I'm not talking like just this season. I'm talking about what they turn it into, and is that going to get them the ultimate goal? We'll see. They got to draft better because their drafts have not been all that great. Just like the Jets. The Jets have 1 billion picks. Well, they don't pick very well.
Ratings. No, stop using Madden ratings.
They don't pick very well. So it's not a guarantee that they're going to.
I put that out the day that it happened. I'm like, the Jets have 17 first-round picks, and they're still going to be bad at football.
Yeah, there's no guarantee that they're going to pick the right guys and make the right picks. And, so it is what it is. But, there's a lot of opening in football. I think Seattle Seattle's winning their division right now. Crazy. Minnesota even better if you kept Sam Darnold. Just saying. I bet just abysmal.
Sam Darnold might be a real quarterback. Who knew?
Something we got to talk about here real quick before we end the show. I think that's all the football we've got. But the Dallas Mavericks are the worst basketball team in the West. They've won 4 games. We're looking absolutely like trash.
They've won 2 games, have they not?
2 games? I thought it was 4. Absolute trash, and it's
Well,
apparent that this whole and look, me and you can rationalize and go, hey, the Cooper Flag's going to take a little while to get, to become who
right,
he is, and
right.
everyone wants the instant
And you
success.
don't have
So
Kyrie Irving, and you traded for a guy whose name is Captain Street Clothes. And where is he right now? Well, there he is. They're sitting there in street clothes. Derek Lively's hurt. So you have no Lively.
yeah,
You have
2-6.
You have no Anthony Davis. You have, no Kyrie. You have
Nobody. We have nobody.
Nobody. You have the worst offensive rating
Yep.
in NBA history. You're 30% worse than every team in the NBA. They're playing like they are playing back in the early 80s, trying to play Michael Jordan basketball. They're scoring 88 points, 87 points, 90 points. You will never win a basketball in today's game in today's NBA if you don't put up at least 115. 30-point quarters used to be, oh my God, they hit 30. Now, if you don't score 40, if you don't have 85 at halftime, you're not winning the basketball game. And the Dallas Mavericks can barely put up 85 in 4 quarters.
Yeah, they can't.
This is what happens when you have a shoe guy try to run your basketball team.
Yeah, fire Nico Chancer back. Luka's killing it in LA.
Correct.
We can't make make our own shots. We get our own shot selection. We can't do anything right on offense side of the ball. It's just absolutely.
It's easy
atrocious.
To double team Cooper Flag and put some pressure on the rookie because you don't have anybody else on the floor that scares you.
Nobody.
There's nobody else on the floor that scares you to score a bunch of points. So it's basically hand Cooper the ball and let him cook, let him bake, and well, that doesn't not great for a rookie.
I looked while ago. We're losing We're losing like 95-62. So absolute terrible. Yeah. And you better hope that the backups come and that we're not too far gone by the time Kyrie gets here. So
pretty sure that too far gone. It's right around the corner. But
yeah. Well, I think that's all I got, my man. Do you got anything else sports related?
Dallas
we need to cover.
Really rough.
Yeah, what the hell? I mean, what is Otter? 7 goals last night? Are you kidding me? We score 5 and you can't win a damn goal.
Just came back from paternity leave. Before that, he had looked better. He shuts the Capitals out. I understand it's a long season, but
we're gonna be begging for Pete DeBoer back.
Right. Well, you have to look at it and you have to ask, was DeBoer onto something?
Yeah.
You guys ran him out of town because he chastised the goaltender. Maybe he was onto something. And listen, I still to this day will stand by my argument that the reason Otter got pulled out of that game was because he turned his back on Pete DeBoer when DeBoer was trying to have a meeting. He had called timeout, and he wasn't done talking, and Otter must have thought, well, I'm not involved in the rest of this. I'm going back to my cage, and goes and starts skating off back to the net, and DeBoer looks up and goes, hey, I'm still talking. And Otter's like, yes, so doesn't involve me. Like, I'm going over here. And that was the end of it. And I think it was disrespectful. And I think it was, we're not going to do this. And one of two things. It was either he did that or it was a move to fire the team up because he basically said, you don't deserve, if you're not going to play well in front of them, I'm going to give you a different goalie. There are goalies that need people in front of them, and then they're really good. And then there's people that are really good without people. It doesn't matter who, the guys like the guy like in Florida, the guy like in Vegas. I mean, in Tampa, Vasilevsky and Bogdanovich don't need people. They don't care who's in front of them. They're going to stop the puck. I got it. I'll do it myself. Otter might be one of those guys that he's real good when the defense kind of helps him. But when the defense breaks down like they did last night, there it is, fellas, shoot it in. I mean, Anaheim's a good hockey team. They've taken a lot of time. Yeah. They've been bad for a long time. They've drafted well. They had a couple really big free agent pickups in the offseason. Anaheim's going to be good. Anaheim coming into last night was averaging the most goals in a game. Dallas was not letting up very many. So something had to give last night, and it was Dallas.
You see those awesome masks they handed out to their fans, the Anaheim Duck fans, and they had the duck mask, like goalie mask. I'm like, that is sick. That looked awesome.
Yeah.
But well, all right, guys. I think that's your show today. Follow us. Come back next week. I don't know if I'll be on Craig Tuesday. It's the wife's birthday. I've been missing a lot of Tuesdays. I do apologize for that, but it's the wife's birthday Tuesday, so I will probably be out doing something for that instead of on the podcast. So if you want to go solo, maybe we can get Jeff to jump on. I don't know. Maybe we get someone from the Them Boys podcast to jump on with you and talk. But other than that, we will be back next Friday, 8 p.m. Central. God bless, and remember,
keep it outspoken.